According to the Seaman High School dress code, appearance affects the learning atmosphere of a school. Neatness, decency, and good taste are emphasized as guidelines for the understanding and interpretation of this dress code. The code is not intended to work a financial hardship upon any student or family. Neatness and good taste are emphasized, not expensive clothing. Clothing must not be unreasonably soiled or badly worn. Health standards require that shoes are to be worn at all times. Apparel that is excessively short, excessively tight, or excessively low cut may not be worn. Shorts and skirt length must reach the tip of the middle finger when arms are extended at the student's side. Spaghetti straps and one-strap tops and dresses will not be allowed. All shoulders, sides, backs, and midriffs must be covered. Writing or pictures on clothing shall not display alcoholic beverages, illegal drugs, tobacco products, suggestive or obscene language, or violent acts. Examples of inappropriate or suggestive clothing include Playboy Bunny, Hooters, Big Johnson, and Big Woody. Hats, coats, and sunglasses, except under special circumstances approved by administrators, may not be worn in the building. For a t-shirt to be considered school appropriate, the shirt must be approved by a class sponsor, activity sponsor, or a coach. The sponsor or coach must approve the exact design and then take it to administration for final approval.
Well, we hope that all of our students are neatly dressed and dressed in good taste. We really want to provide an environment which is far more like a business than it is like going to Lake Shawnee on a Sunday afternoon in summertime. So we want students to begin dressing in a more professional, more business-like way when they're here at school. Well, usually the first violation is a warning, and a lot of times it's a warning and a point if it's a very flagrant violation. And by that I mean if it's a violation where a student knows beforehand that what they're wearing is wrong and they wear it anyway, then it's a warning and a point. Sometimes it's just a matter of interpretation of a rule, and perhaps if that's the case, it'll be a warning without the point. And then the second and third violations are far more serious, because then you start talking about detentions and additional points.
Hi guys, this is Christian Gomez reporting from the Bruce Frederick Media Studio at Seaman Viking Television Headquarters, aka Seaman High School. To kick off the first show of the 2007 to 2008 school year, we'll give you the down low on the newly erected sports and activities policy that's causing quite a ruckus among students. And to tell you why it's so controversial, here's Hayden Ford with the story.
The sports and activities policy was enacted on August 17, 2007, when all the students learned about the new policy during their planner talk. This new policy sets down rules for the students that they have to follow all year round. To get more information, I went out to get the scoop on this policy. First, I went to talk to some school board members to see what they thought about this policy. This is what I found out.
It came to us because we had several concerns. One, we've heard from more parents and people in the community that drug and alcohol abuse was becoming more of a problem. And two, each coach seemed to have their own individual policy, and we thought it was important that we had a unified policy for the district as a whole.
Well, so far I think it's coming along real nice. We haven't, as far as I know, had any incidences to address. And I would hope that what does come along is handled with character, accept the policy, and not try to make an issue of it, take the consequence and learn from it, and move on.
These two board members gave me some good information about the policy. Then I also got to talk to Ann Minahan, who is a school board member but was also on the Sports and Activities Policy Board.
Oh, we had a lot of meetings, I'd say probably 10 or 12, and we already had a policy in place, but this toughened it up a little bit and made it more, to make the kids more responsible for what they're doing. It's going to take a while to get it all worked out, but I'm hoping that the students will understand that we're doing this for their benefit, their long-range benefit, and that they will follow the policy and do what we ask of them so that their lives after high school will be better.
All of these board members gave me great information. After talking to them, I then decided to go find out what a couple of student athletes thought about the policy.
I think it's pretty fair and stuff, but it's kind of stupid that we have to follow it over some people that are doing it.
I think it's a good idea because, you know, people go out and get into trouble, and this is just kind of a way to keep them away from doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, people shouldn't keep getting more chances to do it. They should be punished the first time they do it.
As you can see, many people think this policy is great for Seaman High School. No matter what you think, the policy is here to stay. The policy stays in effect for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. This policy should greatly benefit students in the future.
The policy is in effect, and I think we need to stick to it, but I think over the course of the next year we need to see what happens. I mean, see what situations arise and see if the policy is working or not working.
Signing off for SVTV, this is Hayden Ford.
Whether or not you agree with the policy, when it comes down to it, you're better off just saying no. Now we'll turn the mic over to Nathan Tennant, who caught up with an SHS student whose summer went far beyond the average everyday trip to the mall or a movie, the only two legal forms of popular entertainment available to Topeka teenagers.
What did you do over your summer vacation? Did you have a job? Did you hang out at the pool? Did you hang out with your friends? Or did you go to the high school rodeo nationals like Colin Domer? Colin has been riding a horse for as long as he can remember. What influenced him to start his rodeo career?
My dad and my uncle Todd, because they've been there and done that, and it just kind of helps me step up what I'm doing and makes me practice better and try and better myself every time.
With the influence of his family members, Colin started competing as a kid.
I've been on a horse as long as I can remember and competing since 2nd or 3rd grade.
He plans to take his rodeo career to the next level.
I have been offered a full ride rodeo scholarship to Garden City Community College next year, and I hope that'll all work out good there, and then I can go on to another, like a 4-year school and complete my degree and then go on to professional rodeo.
Colin is not the only family member to love rodeo. It runs in his blood.
My grandpa on my dad's side got it started, and my uncle Todd does it, and then my dad also does it, my little brother, and Lindsay and Reagan, who are my cousins.
To be this good, Colin practices as much as he can, whenever he can.
We practice either at our house or at my grandma's house, who also has an arena. We have livestock there that we practice on.
Through all of the years of his practice, did it pay off for Colin? I think it did, with a 4th place finish at Nationals. Signing off for SVTV, I'm Nathan Tennant.
Wow, I wish my summer break would have been half as cool as his. I don't even remember most of mine. Now here's Brett Smith with a story on the current construction going on here at Seaman High School.
30 new feet to our shops, a couple new classrooms, and even a science classroom. Seaman Principal Ron Vanduska believes this should be a huge success when everything is finished. Also, the metals teacher, Rick Brading, is excited for his new shop additions.
We were extended 30 feet to the east, so that means 30 feet by about, 50 or 60 feet of extra space. And that's really good because we were getting pretty crunched and without much storage space, with a lot of students in here making bigger projects, it was really tight. And so that's going to avail us to be able to spread out and work a little better. We've been afforded a place to put the CNC plasma cutter, and that'll help us because it'll have its own spot with good ventilation. Before, we tried to make it fit into what we already had, and that created some flow problems because we had to put it right near the office. This way it'll have its own clean room for the computer, and it'll just be a much better situation for us in that realm. I believe that once we get everything going, that our productivity will be much better, just because we should be able to flow better and more freely with the room. But also, we've adjusted some of the where we've realigned where we're putting things. We've got the oxyacetylene system in a different place, and we've put the arc welders in a way that I can monitor better what students are doing. And again, we've freed up more space because of how we've changed where we're putting things. And so Not a lot of new equipment, but sure organized a whole lot better.
But along with these new additions, we've also had a few complications along the way. For example, we had some flooding in our west classrooms, and I interviewed Mrs. Husted for more information.
As far as I know, it rained really, really hard, and the 4-inch gap between the old wall and the new wall was like Niagara Falls, and it had nowhere to go, so it came into my room. And while I was doing the backstroke, I was thinking perhaps we're going to need new carpet. Oh, I had probably a couple inches in standing in the worst part of the room, a couple inches of water. Then the custodians came in and sucked it all up with the big giant machines, and then they put the huge giant fans in here that were really loud. We had to have class in different places wherever we could, you know. And then I think it flooded like 3 more times.
Flooding wasn't the only complication we had. We also had a power outage, along with a power shortage down in the metal shops.
We have electrical being worked on, but it's not completed.
So as you can tell, the construction here at Seaman High School has taken a few mishaps along the way, but when this is done, this is going to be a great addition to the Seaman High School tradition. For Seaman Viking Television, this has been Brett Smith. Thank you.
Wow, it looks like things are moving along great. Now let's turn over to Abby Hirsch for her story on how students put their videos on YouTube.
There's no doubt that Seaman High School students have a wide range of talents and abilities. Now, thanks to internet technology, they have the opportunity to share the fun with millions of other people from around the world. Here are some who already have.
I can't breathe, I can't think, I can't take this anymore.
I think that the creators of YouTube have allowed people to post videos that have significance as well as just funny videos, of course. I found a lot of YouTube videos that I really like, and I found a lot that I can use in teaching, and so I think it's been a really helpful teaching tool in a lot of ways.
Well, sometimes I'll get on to maybe just like look up a certain music video, or I'll watch SNL skits or maybe stuff that's on TV that I missed. My friends really enjoy the Potter Pals videos. They're just like hand puppets, and people do different voices for the characters. It's kind of like spoofs of Harry Potter. They make fun of them and stuff.
So whether it's looking up the latest news, music, or comedy skits, or making a video of your own, YouTube has proven to be the next big thing. Be sure to check it out for yourself at www.youtube.com. For SVTV, this is Abby Hirsch reporting.
Now reporter Jordan Boyd will give an exclusive look at the chaotic and inadequate system known as lunchtime and what improvements some believe could be made to make cafeteria time much better.
Out of the 435 minutes for which we daily attend Seaman High, only 25 of those are allotted for lunch. According to a May 2006 article from Medical News Today, an Australian medical research and information distributing firm, a rushed lunchtime means people are missing out on important health benefits, both from a nutritional, stress management, and a relaxation perspective. Furthermore, it's important for us to realize that taking time to eat lunch is critical to maintaining health. A healthy lunch is important to controlling weight, boosting energy and concentration levels, and promoting a better overall feeling. Some students feel that 25 minutes is simply not enough time to eat, especially when one factors in the time it takes to walk down to the Commons and get through the line. For example, on September 10th during second lunch, the lunch lines didn't empty out until 12:28, leaving only 12 minutes for some students to eat. Do you believe that the lunch period is too short?
I believe you need to extend it to like another 10 or 15 minutes.
The small size of the lunchroom also contributes to the problem.
Too many people eating at one time.
See, do you believe the lunchroom is too crowded?
Yes, I do. It's way too crowded.
One solution to the problem would be to get rid of Channel 1 and add that time to lunch. This would mean about an additional 4.5 minutes for lunch on Mondays and 3.5 minutes on block days. Thankfully, the crowding problem is only temporary. The lunchroom will be expanded for the 2008 to 2009 school year. This has been Jordan Boyd reporting for Seaman Viking Television.
Wow, Jordan, I'm glad you survived that. It reminded me of the time I ran with the Bulls in Spain about 8 years ago. Not a pretty sight, and some people may face a similar fate at the next lunch period if something isn't done about it. Thank you for tuning in to SVTV this Thursday evening. Be sure to check out our homecoming episode in just a few weeks. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, feel free to email us at vikingtv@yahoo.com. Well, that's our story, and we're sticking to it.